What's going on, everybody? Welcome to YoND. I'm Jeff. I'm here with Mike, and we are getting ready for the Notre Dame Central Michigan game tomorrow. The Irish are number 3 and number 9 in the country. They're 34.5-point favorites over the Chippewas. Kickoff's at what, 3:30? 3:30 tomorrow.
2:30.
2:30 Eastern. Yeah. So, Irish
Peacock.
are huge favorites. Go ahead, Mike. What are you gonna say?
Peacock.
Oh, it's Peacock.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I saw Penn State was on Peacock last week. Everyone was complaining about it, and I was like, welcome to Notre Dame's world the last few years.
That's where college football's headed. Everything will be streamed.
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I, the spread, 34.5, I definitely think Notre Dame's going to score a whole bunch of points. I actually think Notre Dame might give up a few points. I don't know why.
Are we talking our pick for Notre Dame right now?
All right, yeah, let's go. I'll let you go first. So Notre Dame 34.5. Who do you have?
I want to take them. I think they're going to be looking ahead, and they're not going to cover 34.5.
Is that your official?
I'm really torn because I think Central's not good. Not good at all.
Michigan State, they hung with Michigan State and then pulled away late, and I think the final of that was like 31-7 or something.
31-7, but then New Hampshire's 45-42 in overtime. New Hampshire.
They were looking forward to the Irish.
Maybe.
One
Notre Dame's not covering. They're not beating them by 35.
So one interesting thing, I was looking on FanDuel, you can bet on how many points Notre Dame will score, just Notre Dame, and the number's set at 42.5.
They'll get more than 42.5.
That's what I was thinking. And did you see Navy last night?
Yeah.
Dude, they had it. Well, first off, that fumble Memphis had at the goal line was just, my God. And he was in.
Oh, yeah, I know. If he would have got the handoff.
But the point is, like, Memphis is a decent Group 5 team, and Navy was right there. I mean, that fourth down, they were half an inch away. So, and they were killing them through the air. But, yeah, honestly, on FanDuel, I think the bet is Notre Dame with the home team, the over of 42.5. I'm going to say the Irish are going to cover. And, if it was 35.5, I know it's 1 point, but for some reason, like mentally, once it gets over that touchdown hump there, you don't want to take them. I'm going to go Notre Dame covering. Mike, you're going that
Central's going to backdoor them. They're going to get a backdoor cover.
they could. And, this quarterback, Emmanuel, I think runs better than Armstrong last week, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, the rest of his supporting cast obviously leaves a lot to be desired. But, yeah, so I'm definitely going to take Notre Dame to cover, and you're on record taking Central Michigan. What do you think the score is going to be?
49-17.
I was going to go like 45-14, somewhere in there, or higher. I need to go higher.
Yeah, you need to go.
Yeah, all right. So like 49-10. I'm going 49-10. There you go. And hopefully that touchdown comes really late. That'll be the backdoor part of it. Do you see any problems here for Notre Dame other than the potential of looking forward to Ohio State next weekend?
No. They're going to look sloppy, I think, but
I think they're going to lean on them. And then pick them apart. So I don't see Central Michigan stopping them at all. I do want to see how Notre Dame's defense reacts to having a very mobile quarterback, especially the defensive ends, and you would voice your concerns on them earlier in the year, although they did a good job last week.
they did.
What about do you have a lock of the week?
It's Penn State again.
Yeah, I was putting Penn State too. Do you have 14.5?
It's a layup.
I don't know if it's a layup.
It's a layup.
It should be. I'm all over that as well. I actually did a bet where I moved the spreads. I put them to 13.5, and then I put Colorado, who's playing Colorado State. That spread was 27.5. I took that down to 13.5, and that's my big bet for the week. But I don't have an issue with Colorado. I like Dion, but I am so sick and tired of hearing about him already. It's nonstop on ESPN. Now they're doing game day out there. I feel like they're just pushing this in hopes that it
This all ends when they play someone with a pulse.
Who's that going to be?
I mean, Oregon's going to blow their doors in.
You
USC's
think?
going to blow
Why do
their.
you think Oregon's going to blow their doors in?
They're just more talented. They'll be able to hammer them at the line of scrimmage.
See, I just don't have faith in Oregon, and USC's D is going to have issues.
USC is going to hang 60 on them. They
You're really
want to.
sold on USC this year.
No, Colorado's not ready for that.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
not ready for that.
it's one thing beating Nebraska. I don't think we truly know what TCU has, and TCU never really played D to begin with. I mean, they're just not known for defense at all. So,
Not
I,
since what's his name left.
yeah. Hey, there's another interesting spread that caught my eye. Nebraska is at home versus Northern Illinois. It's a 12.5 point favorite for the Huskers. Northern
They're
Illinois,
not covering that, but they need that win.
why aren't they covering that?
Nebraska's not covering that.
Why?
They can't. They turn it over. I think Sims is out though, the
I,
quarterback. That might be better for them.
I was thinking they are going to cover that because they're not going to have to do a whole lot. Northern Illinois beat BC, and then they lost to like Southern Illinois or someone last
Right.
weekend. So I think that one's there for the taking. It's a tough one. But did you hear, and I don't know if it's true, but I had a buddy text me just now on the way home from work that said Buckner's the starter for Bama.
I hadn't heard that. What I did hear was, well, I think Saban said earlier in the week they're still riding Milroy, but is Milroy hurt?
I don't know, but my response, this was, he's the Penn State guy. My response was, I knew Notre Dame would take care of their dynasty one way or another.
Yeah.
So it'll be curious to see. They're playing South Florida down there, so and that's a 20.
Everyone's burying Bama. Like,
I know.
okay, so they're going to lose twice, 3 times this year, maybe.
No, I totally agree. And
And then,
I did a little live bet during that game, and I had Bama at like plus 130, and I think the score was 13. It was 13-6. And I knew Bama might not win the game, obviously, but how often I had to do like a double take. I'm like Bama plus 130 on the money
yeah.
line. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put some money on it, but ended up losing, which kind of stinks. Any other games that have your eye this weekend?
Florida, Tennessee.
Why?
I think if Florida loses that, Napier might be on his way out already.
Do you think they're gonna fire him before Mel Tucker?
I He's got to have it.
He does have to have it. That's going to be a tall order, but
Yeah, I don't think they're winning.
Tennessee did nothing versus Austin Peay last weekend. They looked terrible.
Yeah.
As you guys know, Frank's usually here with us. He is out at this game, so hopefully we do have some videos from the game like we did last weekend. So check into the channel for that. Mike, do you have anything else that you want to add? I know we're making this brief, but again, it's like the scrimmage before Ohio State. You know what I mean?
One of our loyal followers commented on our post game where we had the discussion of how the blitzes don't get home, and his point was we need to reference Jamarius Slaughter because he's under the impression that him as a safety on his blitzes, he got home more often than not. I said it's a scheme thing rather than a player personnel thing.
They're too late too. Like it's just the timing seems even off on them.
Yeah, and they come and they just like, let me find an offensive lineman.
Right, and it's right into them, and then you're leaving your corners on an island.
Yeah.
Versus Ohio State, that's not going to fly. And we talked about that double safety blitz they ran in the third quarter there, that gave up the touchdown on third down, which was a horrible call.
Don't blitz with your safeties against them.
Yeah, my God, how they're NFL all across.
Yeah.
And we're putting guys out on an island, so I don't.
And we're not.
No.
We're not.
No, I agree with that. Boilermakers, 2.5 point favorites. They get Syracuse at home. Yo, Purdue's schedule: Fresno State at Virginia Tech, Syracuse, right into the Big Ten play. Like
The
that.
mighty Big Ten.
And think about what all the other teams in the Big Ten are doing. And Purdue comes out with Fresno, Virginia Tech, and Syracuse. So I'm not going to hate on that at all. I really am going to stay away from that game. Who knows what's going to happen there? It's 2.5 points, but I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Anything else, Mike?
Duquesne, Conway,
They,
South Carolina.
they play South Carolina.
Not South Carolina. The Chanticleers.
Oh, Coastal.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
They'll get blown off the field.
They hung with West Virginia for a minute.
For a minute.
Then there
It
was
was
a
like
rain delay.
10-7, I think.
It was. Yeah, they were up 7. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo,
And that was like 49-7.
yeah, immediately.
Yeah,
Um,
they have Pitt this weekend.
yeah, that's another good one. That's a night game.
Pitt's got to win.
I think that's a 2.5 point spread.
Pitt
I,
has got to win that game. They're not gonna.
I have zero faith in them. And now
Yeah.
Narduzzi's being brought up for Michigan State, big time.
Oh, he should.
Yeah, I think he'll do. I have no clue, obviously, but what more is he going to do at Pitt?
No, that's it. You've done
And
it.
he's been there since 15 or
Yeah,
14, so this
you've
is
done
like year
it.
9 or 10, and
He won an ACC title.
he won an ACC title. He's the
Yeah.
only non-Clemson
Or
team.
did he win it? Yeah, he won it.
Yeah, they won it.
Yep.
They played not Clemson in the ACC
Yes.
title game
Yeah.
that year, but yeah, that's going to be another interesting game. God, that game's getting no play at all, and
I
it's
know.
a
Well, it's,
huge rivalry, and
yeah,
it just
but
gets
rivalries are over. There are
um,
no rivalries.
Florida State at Boston College, another big spread. I think it's like 27.5 or 28.
Oh, Florida State's covering that.
It's in Boston. I was like, man, do they really care about going up there?
Does Boston College really care about showing up? They just
No.
escaped Holy Cross.
And even if they do show up, it doesn't matter. Yo, I put money on Bethune Cookman last night, getting 53.5 at Alabama, and they covered. And
That's a lot.
it got hairy because Miami scored. They were just running the ball. It was 34-0 at half, which I figured. I'm like, it's gonna be 35-0, and then they only scored one touchdown in the third quarter, and then Bethune got a stop in the fourth quarter. I'm like, yes. So then Miami got the ball back, and they scored with 6 minutes left. They crossed the goal line. It was 48-0, and I was like, come on. And Bethune-Cookman ended up driving the field, and they punched it in with under a minute left. It was 48-7. The
Field
final.
it.
Yeah, but I was like, just because of time, I'm
Yeah.
like, are they gonna? I need one touchdown. And are they going to have enough time to essentially then score 60 plus points if I get one touchdown out of Bethune?
Right.
So it was cool. The game was televised too, so I was pleased about that. But yeah, so you heard our picks with the Irish. I'm taking Notre Dame to cover the 34.5. Mike's going to take Bowling Green, getting the 34.5, and then we are both
Central.
Central Michigan, our lock of the week, both of us. Penn State at Illinois, 14.5. I think that's a noon start. I know it's a day game.
Yeah, it's the Fox noon kickoff.
Yeah, so, and that is, of course, the Big Ten opener for both of them. But, yeah, with that, unless you have something to add in, Mike, I think we're ready to wrap it up. We will try and post some videos from the game tomorrow. And please check in if you have any questions or comments. Let us know. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go Irish.